Welcome to a plant life cycle, and this video is all about flowering. Flowers. Once a plant has grown into an adult or matured, it can produce flowers. Flowers can be very beautiful. They come in many shapes, sizes and colours. And the flower is also the part of the plant that is used for reproduction. So the flower is the part of the plant that can produce seeds. So let's have a look at a typical cross-section of a flower. Most flowers have all of these parts. So we're starting off with the first one, which is the nectaries. Now the nectaries are down here in the base of the flower, and that's where all the sweet smelling and tasting nectar is produced. So that's what the insects and the animals come to eat when they visit a flower. They like the nectar. Then there's the petals. Those are the beautiful colourful bits on the outside of the flower that make the flower look beautiful. And that also attracts insects to the flower. Then we have the sepals, which are the little green leaves that encase the flower while it is in a bud. And then right down the bottom we have the receptacle, which basically holds everything together at the base of the flower. Then we have the male parts of the flower. Those are the anther, which is this bit at the top, which has got all of the pollen on it. Then we have the filament, which are these long bits here. Sometimes they're long, sometimes they're short, depends on the flower itself. And the filament's job is just to support the anther in the right place. And both of those parts together make up the stamen. And the stamen is the male part of the flower. So these two together. Let's have a look at the female part of the flower. The female part is made up of all of this bit right in the middle of the flower. And those parts are called the stigma. The stigma is on top. The stigma is sticky and sometimes pollen can get stuck to it. And then we've got the style, which is like a tube that runs all the way down to the middle. And I usually like to think of this one as girls have got style, and that reminds me that it is part of the female part of the flower. And then we have the ovary, which is this bulby area down the bottom, and inside the ovary you'll find an ovule. Now some flowers have only got one ovule, and some flowers might have many ovules. And all of those bits, the stigma, the style, the ovary and ovule, they all make up the pistil, which is the name for all the female parts of the flower. So let's put them all together. Just to recap, we've got the nectaries, the petals, sepals and receptacle, which are the non-female or male parts of the flower. Then we have the stamen, which is the anther and the filament, and they are the male parts. And then we have the pistil, which comprises of the stigma, style, ovary and ovule, and those are the female parts of the flower. Okay, that's flowering. Wrapping it up. Bye.